Welcome back to the Horny Toad. We're coming up on Christmas. It's a beautiful day, and I'm cleaning up. I haven't been here in a couple years, and no, not too long ago, or actually a couple years ago when I was here, I did find some Sasquatch hair. So definitely see if you can find that video. You know what? I'll put a link down in the description. It was over there. Sasquatch hair. So I thought there was like some kind of dead piece of cactus here, or a leaf or something. I saw this. Right at first glance, it just looks like a decaying leaf, right? But if you look closer, now it was kind of sitting there differently. I just wanted you to see how I found this originally, and it was pretty much like that. Maybe not exactly. And I pull it out, and I'm like, this is a rat. There's a dead rat here at the Horny Toad. This is why they need me here. I don't know how long this thing has been sitting here. It was sort of like lodged in like this or something. And I don't know, maybe somebody found it and threw it in there. Maybe it was already dead and somebody just threw it, like they picked it up or something. And I have no idea how it got there. I can't even imagine how long it's been there. So yeah, this is what a dead decaying rat looks like. And it's here at the Horny Toad. I'm sorry if this is bad PR, but otherwise, I mean, their little garden looks really great. Definitely take a look at some of my other videos. I've tried some things in here, and most things have died because they don't have a watering system, and it gets very hot in the summer, and they don't really hire me to come all the time. And I was hoping to come and do like a nice winter installation and just sort of treat it like a winter annual bed. But they don't really want to spend the money, and I just don't have it in me. But I do have some cactus at home that I want to bring next time. I did bring this, and this survived, these red cactus, and that looks particularly pretty. Here, this is the same thing, or a similar one. And when I first started working here, I remember this looking a little more red, but this is very old. I don't know how old, but probably well over. It's been sitting here for 10 years. Same thing with this Victoria, which is a beautiful specimen, and this Moroccan mound is an incredible specimen as well. Just love that thing. But what I think I'm going to do is I've got, and then I put this little cactus in, and I don't know what that was. And I was just hoping that it would bring in some blooms. And this one does get blooms. It's pretty. Anyway, so I've been working on this Anti Syphilitica, which, so you can see I already cut a couple pieces off, and I'm like, you know what? I should make a video. It looks unruly. It's not really all that attractive. I mean, maybe if it had some petunias and potato vines growing around it, it wouldn't look so cattywampus. It would just sort of look like these beautiful bamboo stalks coming up. Because that's what they remind me of, is like horsetail, actually. And they do get these really cute little flowers. They're like chintz flowers. I do love the flowers, so I think this plant is totally worth it, but it needs to have attention. You can't just set it and forget it, like the Moroccan mound. This is a set it and forget it. The Agave Victoriae, set it and forget it. Maybe once a year, or just as you see some kind of damage occurring, come out, pull it off, a dead piece. They just don't really need much. And I mean, they're living in this Sonoran desert with 115 degree days of sun, 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 in the summer, and it's just extreme heat, and they are surviving without water. Same thing with this Anti Syphilitica. So here in this kind of climate, I love the Anti Syphilitica because it just brings a different element, and they're so easy to propagate. But if you want them to sort of have this tidy look, this one's a little cattywampus because there was stuff growing underneath it, and I pulled it out. There was like these little baby agaves growing underneath it, and I pulled them out, and then they were sort of supporting this, and now it's a little cattywampus. So I put a rock, and I might try to get some other rocks to put back there like this. Just try to keep that nice and straight. I'm just trying to have this look full back here. But you can see where some of these cattywampus leaves were right here. Shoots, I guess you could call them. And I cut them down. So I want to see. Now, when you see these I've seen these a lot in the landscape. And I know how most landscapers do. They just chop stuff down and let it go. And they did that to my Petalanthus macrocarpus at my old house, and I was devastated. But let me tell you, it looked like shit for probably a year, but the next year it started coming back and it looked amazing. Now Laura Eubanks from Design with Serenity out in San Diego, Southern California, she does a lot of design and installation work all around Southern California, and I consider her my mentor. She doesn't know it, but I learned a lot from her. She was using these, and things are a little different out there, but she would have them looking like this, and they would kind of proliferate, and I think they would probably proliferate a lot faster out in California. Things are just different out there. I mean, kind of anything grows for the most part. But she just decided she didn't want to plant them anymore because she likes to do installations, and then she'll instruct her clients on things they can do, and then she'll come back a year later and do like a big cleanup and reset things, but for the most part the clients wouldn't really have a lot of work to do over the year. And it's a great plan. It's a really great setup, and she does beautiful work, but she has decided that she doesn't want to deal with these. And I've always thought, no, you can't turn your back on the Anti Syphilitica. I mean, what a great name that is, right? But it's fine. I mean, out there, she's got so many more options than what we have here. And so, I think I started to mention, when I see these out in landscapes, and I believe that landscapers are probably coming in and just sort of trimming them off the top, like they do like everything, like they did with my Petalanthus macrocarpus. They grow back in these really tight forms, or for some reason, maybe when they're in full sun, they're a little shorter. They're not as lanky. So here, this Anti Syphilitica does get a lot of shade. It's not like all day full sun. And the other ones, I believe, are in all day full sun. And if these are in all day full sun, they have this really nice tight growth form like this, but obviously, with the smaller shoots coming out. But it's just a very tight little mound. And I don't know what the landscapers are doing exactly. I'm only guessing based on my previous experience. But I do notice that sometimes there will be like some wily shoot coming out, or there might, if you want to keep it tight, you might be able to pull out some of the, because they expand, they puff out, I guess you could say, they proliferate out. But I'm just loving the way this looks here. Nice and straight, up and down. Just a beautiful form now that I've trimmed it. So let me see what I can do with this one, and I'll make another video. But let's take you around again. So this one it didn't really need a lot of attention. There was a few little weeds in here, over there, but I mean this area I'm not real happy with. I've had several things over here, but in this area, but they just keep dying. And I've had some things here and just not working out. But I'm glad that Anti Syphilitica made it. Here we have this elephant food, which I planted here to cover up this ugliness. But it's a tricky spot. And they don't water. Like I said, it's a miracle that thing is still alive. But when I first planted it and I was here all the time watering, it was really nice and filled in. Just looked beautiful. So I'm probably not going to do this today, but we've got these dead leaves here on Victoria, and those lace aloes back there. We've got a big dead patch, so I got to see about doing something there. And this is I can't remember the name of this, like the scientific name, but I got to give that some attention. But this is what I believe is a what do they call them? Desert spoon, a smooth desert spoon. The real desert spoon has these little spikes going up each of the leaf, and they have a beautiful form. They look like pom-pom balls in people's yards, but that one obviously didn't get the memo. But I'm not really sure what that is. That's been here forever. So I got more work to do all around here. This area is falling apart. Those pots are falling apart. So I'm gonna be here for a while. All right, but I'll make a video to show you how everything turns out. But let's take a walk around. I'm just not gonna tell you what happened in each area, but you can see there's issues. And oh, here's a Pedalanthus macrocarpus that I put here. This Mexican fence post, probably could do something different with that. And this monstrose is looking like it needs water, but it might have a disease. I don't know. Wow, look at these lace aloes. Okay, I wasn't supposed to make comment. And then I've never been happy with that area. Never did much there. And this area needs some cleaning. Now they did have a huge saguaro here. It's in a video, but one day it fell. Luckily nobody died. There was customers eating out here and it fell. They've had 2 of them fall on them, but they do still have this guy. So, and they have this over here, which is not a saguaro, and I don't know what that is. And then they do have that beautiful saguaro over there, and then they have some saguaros out at the entrance. So this area, Cave Creek, Arizona, if you want to see what they call a pickle forest, a saguaro forest, come out here. It's really cool out here. And they have all kinds of cool stuff out here that's different than other places, like bull riding. You could actually participate, or you could just watch, and they do it like I think a couple times a week or every week. I'm not sure. I was gonna go the other night with my son, but I just couldn't do it. It was right after Thanksgiving. But yeah, I mean, all kinds, and the thrift stores and the shopping out here is fabulous. All right. Okay, stay tuned for my video about the Anti Syphilitica and see how much I can get done in the next hour.